4-1. It was a spectacular performance. And we have talked over the last couple of weeks of all this Phillies success, now 12 of 14 victories for the Philadelphia Phillies. We've talked about their depth. Yesterday was another great example of that. Munoz helps really start things off for the Phillies by getting on base, albeit by a tough error to take, if you ask me, by Cesar Hernandez. And then Schwarber just hitting bombs. He is having an incredible June. He's hitting 302 in the month of June thus far. I believe 14 games so far. 302 in the month of June with 7 home runs, excuse me. That's pretty damn good. Home run every other game? They'll take it. 2 in yesterday's game against his former team, the Washington Nationals. I'll take it. You have Rhys Hoskins put a nice little hit streak together so far. They have 4 games in a row. Good for him. At least we see some consistency from him. And no matter what, it seems like he's hitting the baseball real hard over the last couple of weeks of the season. You're seeing it now from Nick Castellanos yesterday. He seems like he's starting to click it into high gear. A guy like Kyle Schwarber comes out yesterday and says, you know what, I'll make a bet with you right now. You're not going to see too many struggles like you have seen over the past 20-some games from Nick Castellanos. You're not going to see that because I'm here seeing the work this guy puts in every single day to make sure he brings the best version of himself to the baseball diamond. If that's the case, Nick Castellanos, as I said a couple of days ago, is the guy that I need to see turning on, especially in the second half of the season, if you're going to continue to get the numbers that you're getting from a guy like Bryce Harper, and you're going to get numbers like you're going to get from Kyle Schwarber. If you see this happen from Nick Castellanos, then that lineup that we have talked about leading up to the season, is going to come to fruition. They're already third right now in all of baseball in home runs. Sucks that the Braves have like 10 more than them, but whatever. But the Phillies are third right now in home runs. This lineup is starting to really rake. This lineup is starting to actually come together. And yes, I think the Joe Girardi firing, moving on from, has a lot to do with these guys gelling finally as a baseball team, whether it's holding each other accountable, whether it's just the different atmosphere that's in that the clubhouse right now. Whatever it is, it feels like everybody is starting to click. You got the hero Garrett Stubbs from 2 days ago. You have a guy like Schwarber stepping up yesterday, Nick Castellanos doing it, and like I said, JT Realmuto getting in on it as well. We have seen situations where JT Realmuto has been a bit of a rally killer, or at least a chance killer. Phillies have runners in scoring position. They have the bases loaded. They got one out. JT Realmuto steps to the plate, and he grounds into an inning-ending double play. It's happened on more than one occasion. But this time, he at least hits a ball on the hole to shortstop, and he's able to beat it out to first base to get that run across the plate and get a hit for himself as well. So seeing Nick Castellanos, seeing JT Realmuto start to come around might make you think that some of these other guys that have been stepping up for you can actually go back to just what their role is, which is be those supporting guys, the supporting cast members, and let the guys that are supposed to rake start raking. And we're in that month of June right now, where Schwarber turns it on. We're in that month right now where a guy like Nick Castellanos, who came in obviously really late to this ball club, might start actually putting it together for this lineup. And if yesterday is any indication, he will certainly start to do that. So I am thrilled with what the Phillies did yesterday. I loved it. Zach Wheeler didn't seem like he had his best stuff yesterday. A guy that's a strikeout pitcher only had 3 strikeouts yesterday, but still was phenomenal. Gave you a great outing yesterday for the Phils, and that's what you want to see ultimately from Zach Wheeler time and time again. After the game, Rob Thompson talked about Zach Wheeler and how he seemed to be a tick or two off when it came to velocity on his fastball. But for the most part, yesterday was able to give you a very, very strong. And anytime you get your starting pitcher nowadays to go 7 innings, it's not like 7 innings today is the complete game of 20, 30 years ago. Like, that's what it feels like. It's unfortunate, but that's what it feels like. Remember yesterday I was talking about how a lot of scouts now in Major League Baseball, they look at like the 270 average as the new 300, which is pathetic, but that's the world we live in now. 270 is like the new 300. I feel like going 7 innings is the new complete game. It's like ungodly. It's like, oh my God, wrap his arm up immediately after that before it falls off. But he goes out there yesterday, gets you 3 strikeouts. The only run that he allowed was a home run. He allowed 4 hits over those 7 innings. Basically, he kept guys off balance and he got his outs. That's ultimately what you want to see from Zach Wheeler. And all the while, by the way, could have gone more than that. Just 86 pitches for Zach Wheeler yesterday. But still, even in a day where he doesn't look like he's got that bite on his breaking ball, or he doesn't look like he's got that high velocity that we're used to seeing on his fastball, he just gets guys out. You figure him out, Nationals lineup. You figure him out. And they certainly couldn't do that yesterday.